What's up, viewers? Patrick from Ball vs. Only back with another YouTube video, and this episode number 5 of Purpose Week on Ball verses of the day. And today's verse comes out of Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1, and it says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." And that's what that verse means, and let's get right into it. And it is time for our Royal Rangers recap. And here we go. We're going to start in Hebrews 11 verse 1, which says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." The main verse was John 15 verses 1 through 17. And here's what it says. "I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this, so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. You are my friends, if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you, and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit that will last, and so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. This is my command: love each other." And that's all for the first portion of that Bible study. And then Fellowship Club, we continued the book of James. And to recap from Monday, James chapter 1, verses 13 through 18, and it reads, "When tempted, no one should say, 'God is tempting me,' for God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone, but each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desire and enticed. Then after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death. Don't be deceived, my dear brothers and sisters. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. He chose to give us birth through the word of truth, so that we might be a kind of first fruits of all he created." And some of the verses that were read also in Fellowship Club was Romans 6 verses 11 through 13. And here's what it says. "In the same way, count yourselves dead to sin, but alive to God in Christ Jesus. Therefore, do not let sin reign in your mortal body, so that you obey its evil desires. Do not offer any part of yourselves to sin as an instrument of wickedness, but rather offer yourselves to God as those who have been brought from death to life, and offer every part of yourself to him as an instrument of righteousness. Now we're going to go to actually 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verses 14 through 16 reads, I am writing this not to shame you, but to warn you as my dear children. Wait. Oh, my apologies. Chapter 10, not 4. Okay, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 11 through 13 says, These things happened to them as examples and were written down as warnings for us on whom the culmination of the ages has come. So if you think you are standing firm, be careful that you don't fall. No temptation has overtaken you, except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. And finally, in Hebrews 4, verses 14 through 16, says, Therefore, since we have a great high priest who has ascended into heaven, Jesus the Son of God, let us hold firmly to the faith we profess. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to emphasize with our wickedness, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. And that's all for that. And the verse to leave you with today is Colossians 3, verse 16, which says, Let the message of Christ dwell among you, richly as you teach, and admonish one another with all wisdom through songs, hymns, and songs from the Spirit, singing to God with gratitude in your hearts. And that's going to do it for the video. Thanks for watching. And until next time, again, viewers, in every way, God's way is always the best way.